Hey y'all. It is Wednesday. Welcome to Cruise with Key. I missed you guys last week, but I had something very important to take care of. And, you know, sometimes things are more important. Sometimes just things take, um, you know, precedent over, you know, your regular plan. Excuse the way that I sound. It's not that I can control it, but I did take a Zyrtec. I took a Zyrtec, hoping that it's just my allergies. Rolatish oil, y'all ain't see that. I was blowing my nose before, and yes, I'm old school. Like I just stick it in there. It's mine. But at any rate, y'all was asking some questions, so I brought answers. One of them, somebody had asked me the Bible that I was talking about, my coloring Bible. It's called Inspire Prayer. But like as you can see, I already colored this one. Um, but like it has these. You can write notes. Um, you can highlight color. So now you see color. Listen, why not rejoice and be glad in it and color at the same time? Yeah. So this is my Bible. I love it. I absolutely love it. You can I think you can get it off Amazon. Somebody did ask. It is Tyndall. The Bible for coloring and creative journaling. I told you, listen, I told y'all that I love journaling, okay? So a Bible where you can journal. How fitting is that? So yeah, so if you're looking for it, I think you can find it on Amazon or just Google this. All right, that's enough of that. Um, I knew what we were going to talk about today, but what I went through this weekend jacked me all up. And so it's something that I literally think about every single day. So as busy as I am at work, oh my God, today. I don't know what happened in 2022 that made 2023 at work just be extra, extra, extra busy. Every time I get off, every time I get off, I want to sip something, okay? Not water, wine, tequila, vodka. Um, yeah, I want a cocktail because work has been working. I really earn my salary, okay? They getting it from me, okay? Um, So remember when I told y'all about this? And I promise, like what I talk about will be about, of course, me and my journey. And I promise it'll help you. I promise, because that's what we doing. We helping each other. But remember when I told y'all about this? And I said I already started writing in it. I actually try to do it at least every weekend because during the week I really don't have time. After work, I don't want to do nothing. um So I try to, make sure that I am pretty productive on my weekend in a sense where I'm doing something for me during my healing process. Whether it's journaling, whether I'm reading a book, something. And I was a mess. When I say a mess, I'm talking about ugly cry. It was just, it was really bad. But at the end of the day, I was appreciative of all of the tears and all of that because it allowed me, one, to journal how I was feeling afterwards, why I was feeling that way. And it was like a breakthrough. So this book, as much as I told y'all that I like it, I actually love it. I've fallen in love with this book. Um, it's why have we gone through life not asking questions? Like that's all this book is. I swear to y'all. This book is just questions. And a lot of my answers was I have no idea. And the beginning of the book, it's literally just about it's called the first years, and like they ask you what were you wearing when you left the hospital, or what are some family heirlooms that your parents passed down to you, or what did your parents tell you that your least favorite baby item was? And I'm like, what? How am I know this? Like what? And then in the process, I just was like, yo, I've never asked my mother questions. Even that one time that I met my dad, and then a few times that we talked on the phone, these questions here, I just did not ask, and that's weird. um, but I know that that's one of the reasons why I wanted children really badly, because I wanted to go through the process that one, I never went through. Two, I have no idea what I look like as a baby. I don't know how long I stayed in the hospital, whether it was the regular time or a long time. Um, I don't know when did I start crawling? When did I start walking? Did I go to daycare? Like I don't know nothing. I was about to curse. I don't know. I don't know anything. And I became really sad about it. That's why I was like really emotional. One, I was like, I don't know these answers. But then it was the other part was like, oh my gosh, like I wish I just would have asked all of these daggone questions. I'm trying to think, and I'm even thinking now, like, what did I ask my mom? I think I was so sice. I think I was so sice being in my mother' presence that there was no questions to ask. I think the only thing I asked, I know what I asked her. It was a rumor in the family about my mother's health, and so I wanted to know the truth. So I asked, and she told me the truth. Um, and I did ask her who's my the other question. And I did ask her like, Mom, like who's my father like for real? Um, and she told me the truth. So like it's crazy that like I didn't ask, like, so, soon as you had me, like, what happened? I just didn't. But let's also be clear, okay? I did not meet my mother to seventh grade, and then she passed away when I was 20. So I was what, 11, 12, and then she passed away when I was 20. So we only had a good 10 years. And it's crazy because I swear to y'all, like we literally talked on the phone ever, like we were one of them. Like I would just call her all the time. She would call me all the time. Like we were really, really, really close. And I just wish that I asked. So I'm here to tell you guys to ask questions, regardless of how uncomfortable they are. Ask questions to your parents or whomever raised you. Ask them some questions so that you can, tell your kids or tell your spouse. So when you with your friends and y'all just having these conversations, or just so you can know for yourself, because walking around clueless or walking around with the unknown don't feel good. And I know for a fact, like even doing the journaling and stuff, and it reminded me of like why I am the way that I am in certain ways. Like why do I always ask myself, why do I seem so needy? Because I be feeling needy when I want, certain things. But it's like, no, you're not needy. Your feelings are valid. You have every right to value yourself. You know what I mean? And I think for a long time, I didn't value where I actually come from. Who I am is literally based on where I come from. And oftentimes we neglect where we come from. And um I'm sorry to myself for that. I have to apologize to myself for not valuing and not taking pride of where I am, because I've come a long way and I have such another, oh, I have such a long way to go. But to be able to acknowledge some things about yourself and really want to fix them is admirable. To know that the way that you are now is because of how you grew up. It's noble. Like, it's a great thing that you know exactly what you want because of what you did not have, and what you don't want because of what you've experienced. You know what I mean? And I have beating myself up for far too long, and I'm not doing that anymore. And I don't care who it affects, because it's finally that I take time out and choose me. I never ever have chose me. I'm not a selfish person. I think that I've realized within the last 2 years that I've actually been selfless to me, and I got to start being self first. And it starts with going all the way back to your childhood and asking yourself those questions, answering them, and patting yourself on the back along the way. Like, a lot of us are a product of our environment. Like, it's really, really real. A lot of us are the way that we are because of generational curses. A lot of us are the way that we are because it's just in our DNA. Um, and I'm just on this journey with myself and you all to like really get to the core. I really want to get to the core of my triggers. Like I tell y'all every week, that I have triggers, or or I'll express, like I don't like when people tell me calm down or relax, because I'm already in my mind in a relaxed and calm state. So for you to tell me that I need to calm down and relax, probably because you cannot understand me, it, like that's a trigger for me, because because I feel like I'm not being understood in this moment. And I've already told y'all, I always want to be understood because I wasn't younger. I told you I didn't have no voice. So I'm very passionate about Lakia. And um I think that the more I become passionate about myself, the more I change. And some people love it. Some people like, I don't even know you no more. That's a great thing. I'm never offended. I'm never offended anybody. Anytime somebody say, oh, you acting different or you seem different. Okay, well that's good, because it's for me. And if it seems as if this different kid does not work for you, then maybe our time is up. And it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Um, I think that the more you do work on yourself, um, the more healed you really become. And there's so much healing. So much healing that I need. And I don't think I realized how much healing that I needed. This is good. This is good, because this could help you too. Oftentimes we don't know that something is wrong internally because we so busy being external. I've always been focused. I felt like I didn't have a choice. In school, you went to school with me. If you grew up with me, if you've been around me long enough, you know that education just wasn't a priority for me. It just was not. I think the highest GPA I got was two something. I just didn't care. School for me was like my outlet because home was horrible. So School was just my outlet once I got comfortable because I done went to so many. It took me a while to get comfortable. Man, I used to eat lunch in the bathroom, or I'll just, like go in the office to see if anybody needed some help, or like one of my favorite teachers, do y'all need any help or anything during lunch? And then as I got older, I just would leave the grounds and come back, maybe, maybe not. Yeah, child. I mean, school just learning just wasn't it. But by the time when I got out of high school, the lady that I was living with at the time, she was big on education. She had a lot of degrees. So I went to a community college literally right after I graduated. Graduated high school in June. Soon as the fall semester started, what August, I was back in school. By May, by I left, and then by June, I started working at the State Department, and I literally just start being focused on making sure that I'm good. I'm working, I'm making money. So now I need to save. Now I know because in a few, I'm gonna be phased out. I'm gonna need my own place. I'm gonna need it. So I just became focused, which is why to this day I'm very structured and organized. And I literally live, move, and breathe with a what if factor because, like, what if? Like, I can't afford how people say I cross that bridge when we get there. I don't have one. I don't have a bridge. I don't have a bridge. I don't have a safety net. I am my safety net. You know what I mean? So it's important for me to be stable, to work as hard as I possibly can so that I can be gainfully employed, which I did. Thank you, God. I'm now a federal employee. Well, I'm on probation, but you know what I mean. um, I went from efficiency to actually owning my own home. I went from literally always on the bus and subway to buying my own car. You know what I mean? So it was like I always just made sure I did what I was supposed to do. So I'm talking about, yeah, people be like, you know you make good money. Why you buy this or why you buy that? You know you could be shopping here, you could be shopping there. Be like, yeah, but do you know how much my credit card balance is? I gotta pay that off. Like, do you know how much I gotta pay this bill? I gotta do that. Like, I cannot function without knowing that my debt is because what if I lose my job or something? What if something happens and it's a temporary thing and all I have is my cards to fall back on for a little while? You just never know. You just never know. You just never ever know. You just never know. So for me, I had to become this structured, organized pattern, routine type of that's what I thought. And all the while now I've always told you that I've been in therapy on and off all my life because I do check-ins, on self. But I should have had those check-ins last for a long time, like a journey. Because now at the age of 42, I'm like, oh my gosh, there's so much that I have never, ever, ever, ever dealt with. There are still things to this day that I can talk about and I'm bawling. There's things that I can talk about and I just bust out laughing. And back in the day, I could not do that. You know what I mean? Which means that you're doing better, but you got so far to go, and I'm okay with that. I'm okay with taking this journey to be a better me because the more I am a better me to me, I can be a better me to somebody else, to other people. If you don't love yourself, you can't love somebody else. If you're not taking care of yourself, you can't take care of somebody else. It just don't go together, you know? So that's it. Just that's my spiel for today. My spiel for today is it does not matter. It really does not matter how focused you are on the outside. At some point, you're gonna have to deal with that. You're gonna have to. You're gonna have to. You're gonna have to. Something is gonna happen that's gonna force you to. Things happen. Look, since we yeah, yeah. We being honest, I think that what really forced me to really dig deeper was me being married, me getting married. I've never, ever, ever thought that I would fall in love as quickly as I did and move into a marriage as quickly as I did, which in turn, allow a lot of things to happen. And it's like, well, why am I feeling this? Or why am I feeling? I ain't never felt like this. I mean, yeah, you ain't never been married before either, but it's like even being married is like a mirror. Like you really get to see yourself like literally in front of somebody else, you know. Um, and also not only that though, so much has happened in the world within the last like 4 or 5 years. I'm talking about pre-pandemic, but so much has happened. And I think that when that pandemic happened and so much was on TV, because you weren't really doing much but watching TV because you was at home. It was a curfew and all of that. So it was like, and half of us were scared, even when the doors open. Um, and I realized how emotional I was. I would cry like crazy and be like, why am I so emotional watching this and watching that? Especially watching This Is Us. Oh my God, today. Oh my Jesus. Um, I could relate to Deja so much watching Star. Oh my goodness, I'm so mad that they don't have that anymore. But like that's what it was. Like the more I watch TV and binge watch things, and I just became this sad sap. And I'm like, what the heck is going on? And it's like, girl, you hurt. And it's okay. You've never I I don't like saying it. That's why I look like I'm getting emotional because I don't like saying it because for me it's like, oh, so what you a pity part? No, I don't need pity. That's not me. But it's okay for me to acknowledge that I have a lot of hurt. I have a lot of hurt that I've never dealt with because I'm just like, that was my life. So what? You ain't the only person, but it's like, no, you're not, but you are you. And you need to recognize it and deal with it ASAP. You got to. You got to. You got to. You got to. Deal with it. Deal with your stuff. Deal with it now before it's too late. I don't ever want to leave this earth without getting all of this out. I'm trying to go back to the dust as free as I came. You did? Do you did? So that's what I mean when I say, like, ask yourself those questions. Ask yourself these questions. Ask yourself, what are some similarities between your early adulthood and that of your parents? If you don't have parents, and see, that's why this book is so daggone tricky. It's always talking about parents. I don't know. I didn't know them. I remember one time I don't think, nope, I'm gonna save that for next week. I'm gonna save that for next week because it's already been 24 minutes. So I'm actually writing it down to tell y'all next week. Because I really don't like to have y'all on here really longer than 15, 20 minutes. Um, but I appreciate y'all for always tuning in. But yeah, today was about ask yourself those tough questions that you have never asked yourself. And however you feel, you can be angry asking yourself questions. It's okay. Whatever emotion come up, let it come and let it flow. And afterwards, journal about it. I promise journaling, it helps. And if you don't have no journal, hit me up. Tell me you don't have no journal. Give me your address, and I will send you one. Scout's honor. Y'all know I don't be lying. So let me know, because it's so important to deal with yourself. You got to deal with yourself. And it doesn't matter if, again, I can't stop saying it. It doesn't matter if it hurt. That's a good thing. It's a normal reaction, because you are valued. You are valuable. Look at yourself and say, self, I'm valued, and I value myself. It does not matter what I've been through. Your feelings are valid. It doesn't matter who did it. Your feelings are valid. Y'all know it's this new thing that's saying feelings aren't facts. I swear to God, I hate that. Where did that come from? Where did that come from? We're gonna stop right there. We maybe talk about that one day too. Why do people say feelings aren't facts? Like, what you mean? Like, you supposed to have feelings. You supposed to have feelings. Now, and I'm talking about self. I'm not talking about other people. I'm not talking about other people. If somebody raped you and you feel a way about it, your feelings are valid. You hear what I'm saying? You can feel sad. You can feel angry. You can feel however you want to feel. I'm telling you that you are absolutely correct on however you feel. Yep, feel it. Feel your feelings. If you and your mother has been like this all your life, and you realize all of a sudden that it's not really as tight as you really thought that it was, it's okay to have a conversation and talk about how you feel. I, and you know how people do, but that ain't that. That's not how I feel, and that. But that's not how. I'm sorry you perceive it that way, or whatever, whatever excuse your mother give you. Don't let her take away how you feel. Okay. So we going feelings are valid. You are valuable. You are the bomb. Okay? Let yourself know that, regardless of how you grew up. All is well. Okay? You're great. You're good. But you can be so much better. When you know better, you do better. You can do better. We all can do better. Listen, I might be stable. I'm all I am. I really am stable. But I'm trying to be, the Bible says be stable in all thine ways. I'm trying to be stable in every area. Every. And it ain't gonna happen overnight. It takes time. That's why I said this is a journey. It's a journey. Okay. I love y'all so much. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for all your comments, your likes. Thank you for subscribing. Please share, like, comment, subscribe. I don't care if you show it to your family, show it to your co-workers, show it to your mate. I don't care who you share these with. I don't care if they know me. Because I am not ashamed. And I think that I dealt with that a lot. I remember, and I'm still talking, but I remember, I want to say it was like last year. We would know the year before last. Was it last year or the year before last? I don't know. I know within the last 2 years that for the first time I actually posted foster care month, and I said that I, was in foster care and I phased out and all the other stuff. And for a long time, every time I saw it, I was like, I'm not about to do that. I'm not about to tell these people that follow me that because I was ashamed. Because believe it or not, people that grew up in the system be talked about. Y'all have no idea. Y'all have no idea. Oh, y'all have no idea. Now, if you've been in the system, then you know. And if you've been in the system, you ain't go through what I'm talking about. That's awesome. That's awesome. And I'm gonna clap for myself for what I've been through, because if it did not happen, I wouldn't be awesome. I love y'all. I love y'all. I love y'all. See y'all next Wednesday. Today is February 1st, y'all. Happy Love Month. Happy Black History Month.